Hi to all. This is BK Parthiban, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at Kamaraj College of Engineering and Technology. In my previous video, I have given introduction to the subject kinematics of machinery. Now, let's start the next session on the topic basics of kinematic concepts and important definitions in it. Let us enter into the session. The first important parameter is length. Let us define it. Each part of a machine which moves relative to some other part, which is known as kinematic link. Kinematic link is also known as element, or we may simply term it as link. So let us consider an example. So this is a various parts of a steam engine. So this is the first one is cylinder, which is a frame which does not move. So I am going to consider as a fixed length. Now the second link is this is the crank. So the crank is going to rotate continuously. It may be in a clockwise direction or it may be in a anti-clockwise direction. Now the third component is connecting rod. Now the fourth component is piston. So whenever the crank rotates, the connecting rod oscillates so that the piston reciprocates. So here one component moves relative to the another component, that is the connecting rod changes its position with respect to the movement of the crank. So here it forms a kinematic link. So all the elements are now in a kinematic structure. So each and every component is now known as a kinematic link or simply link. Now the link has the following characteristics. First one, it must have two nodes. It is a resistant body. That is the very important thing. It does not undergo any deformation while transmitting the motion. So it should be a good resistant body and it has a relative motion. The purpose is we need to transmit a motion. Okay. Now the various types of links are broadly the links are classified into three types. First one, rigid link, flexible link and fluid link. Now first we will define about a rigid link. So a rigid link is one which does not undergo any deformation while transmitting motion. And the examples are, as I told in the previous example, so crank, connecting rod and piston of a simple mechanism are the example of all the rigid links. Then the rigid link is broadly classified into three types. First one, binary link. Second one, ternary link. Fourth one, quaternary link. So this is a link which is having two nodes. So this is known as binary link. And this is a form of a link which has three nodes. So it is known as ternary link. Similarly, this is said to be a link which is having four nodes, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it is known as quaternary link. Now the second type of the link is flexible link. So a flexible link which undergoes a partial deformation, but that deformation does not affect the transmission of a motion. So the examples of flexible links are belt, rope and chain. So we all know that there will be a machine component known as a belt which is used to transmit motion. Further it is used to transmit power. So that during the running of operation, a belt undergo some partial deformation like wear, but it does not affect the transmission of motion. So such types are examples for flexible link. The third interesting one is fluid link. So here we are going to use the fluid pressure to transmit the motion. So fluid link is one in which the motion is transmitted through the fluid by the application of pressure or compression. So the good examples for this are hydraulic jack and hydraulic press. So here, if I am going to apply a load means, this is transferred to this position to apply a brake. So such is an example for a fluid link. Now we are going for the next important topic defined before the kinematic pair. So in general, there are three different types of motion. They are completely constrained motion, incompletely constrained motion, and third one is successfully constrained motion. Let us discuss in detail about all these things. First one, when the motion between the pair is limited in a definite direction, irrespective of the direction of force. So a good example is motion of a square bar in a square hole. So this is considered to be a one square plate, and this is having one square hole. So inside this square hole, one square bar is going to slide, so that the motion is now arrested in only one direction. So such thing is an example for completely constrained motion. Now the second case, when the motion takes place more than one direction, then it is known as incompletely constrained motion. Here the example is a circular plate having a circular hole. In that a circular shaft is attached, so that now the shaft can slide, at the same time it can turn. So the shaft now moves in two possible directions. So it comes under the category of incompletely constrained motion. Now the third type is successfully constrained motion. In this type, the motion is not completed by itself, which means it is completed by means of some other mechanism. Such type of motion is said to be successfully constrained motion. Example, let us consider a footstep bearing. Here, the direction of movement of shaft in the upward direction is arrested by applying load at the top surface, so that the shaft will tend to revolve or turn only. It does not oscillate. Here we have arrested the motion, or we have constrained the motion. Such things is an example for successfully constrained motion. So this concept is very important. Now move on to the next one, kinematic pair. Kinematic pair is defined as the two links or elements of a machine are connected with each other. So if the relative motion between them is completely or successfully constrained, then the pair is known as kinematic pair. Let us consider an example. This is a constructional view of a slider crank mechanism. It is having four links. So this is first one. This first one is nothing but a frame that is assumed to be a fixed link. And the second one, this is crank. It is going to be rotate in a clockwise or in a anti-clockwise direction. Now the third component is the connecting rod, which is going to produce a oscillating motion. And this fourth component is a slider, which is going to be produce a sliding motion. So this link number 1 and link number 2 forms one kinematic pair. This link number 2 and links number 3 will form one kinematic pair. This link number 3 and link number 4 will form one kinematic pair. This link number 4 and link number 1 are connected together to form one kinetic pair. In short, two links are joined to form kinematic pair. Now, let us classify the kinematic pair. The kinematic pair is broadly classified based on three things. First one, we are going to classify according to the relative motion between the elements. Second one, we are going to classify according to the type of contact between the elements. Third one, we are going to classify according to the type of closure arrangement. Let us further subdivide. According to the type of relative motion between the elements, I am going to subdivide it into 5 categories. That is, number 1, sliding pair, turning pair, rolling pair, screw pair, and spherical pair. Now let us define one by one with an practical example. So first one, sliding pair. So here the two elements are connected to form a kinetic pair and it produces sliding motion. Such pairs are known as sliding pair. So the example is piston and cylinder arrangement. So due to the oscillating motion of the cylinder, the piston will reciprocate. Sorry, not due to the oscillating motion of the cylinder. And the another example is tailstock on the lathe bed. So let us consider this example. This is one square block having a square hole. So in that square hole, I am going to insert one square shaft. So it is going to be produce a sliding motion. So this sliding bar or square bar and this square plate will form a sliding pair. Sliding pair is also known as prismatic pair and it have 1 degrees of freedom. The next one is turning pair. Here one pair is going to connected with another pair and going to produce a turning or revolute motion about a fixed point. Such thing is known as a sliding pair. And the example is cycle wheel turns around the axle, lathe spindle supported on the headstock. So let us consider this is one circular hollow shaft. Inside this hollow shaft, I am going to insert one solid shaft. This is link number 2. So here now it is going to be turn around. Such thing is an example for turning pair. And the turning pair is also known as revolute pair and it has 1 degrees of freedom. Is rolling pair. So here two pairs are going to have a contact. At that time one link rolls over the another link. Such examples are ball and roller bearing and a road roller rolling over the ground. So here let us consider this is to be a link 1 and this ball is considered to be a another link. So the surface of the ball is rolls over this shaft. So it forms a rolling pair. And a rolling pair is having 1 degrees of freedom. The next one is screw pair. When the two elements of the pair are connected in such a way that one element turns around the other by means of screw threads, then the pair is known as screw pair. Example is motion of a bolt in screw and motion of the lead screw in the nut. So it is going to be having a screw threads and it is going to produce a turning motion connected with a sliding motion. And the screw pair is also known as helical pair, and it has 1 degrees of freedom. The last classification of kinematic pair according to the type of relative motion is spherical pair. Here, one element will turns or swirls about the another fixed elements, so that the pair formed is known as spherical pair. So the example is ball and socket joint or the attachment of a car mirror. So it can swirls in any direction, so that it has 3 degrees of freedom. So what do you mean by degrees of freedom? What are its the equations? How to calculate degrees of freedom? We will see that in my next video. Now we go for the next classification of kinematic pair according to the types of contact between the elements. Based on the contact between the elements, the kinematic pair are classified into two things. First one, lower pair, and second one is higher pair. When two pair of elements are having surface contact while transmitting the motion, then the pair is said to be lower pair. And the examples for lower pair are all sliding, turning, and screw pairs are the examples. On the other hand, higher pair is defined as when two elements of a pair have a line or point contact while transmitting the motion, then the pair is said to be higher pair. This is not lower pair, this is higher pair. The examples are all rolling pair, and carbon follower is a good example for higher pair. The next classification of kinematic pair according to the type of closure is self-closed pair or forced closed pair. We are going to classify this means according to the mechanical contact between themselves. That is, in a closed self-closed pair, it is formed by means of itself. All lower pairs are example for self-closed pair. In case of a forced closed pair, the links have to be held mechanically by means of some other action of external force. Forced closed pair is also known as unclosed pair, and the example is cam and follower. So now, as of now, we have seen what is meant by kinematic link, what are the different types of kinematic link, what are different types of motions in a mechanism. Later we defined kinematic pair and we have classified kinematic pair. Now let's go to kinematic chain. When the kinematic pairs are coupled in such a way that the last link is joined to the first link in order to transmit the motion, then it is known as kinematic chain. Here, let us consider one example which is having 5 links. This was link number 1, link 2, link 3, link 4, link 5. And the link 5 is the last link which is connected to the first link in order to transmit motion. So this is an example for kinematic chain. Now we have to know what are the different types of joints are available in a kinematic chain. There are 3 different types of joints are available in nature. They are binary joint, ternary joint, quaternary joint. Binary joint means two links are have to be connected. Here the link number 1 and link number 4 is connected at one point. So this is known as binary point. Similarly, at this point, link number 1 and link number 2 is connected. So this is known as binary point. In case of a ternary joint, 3 links have to be connected at a one point. That is, at here at the point E, 3 links are connected. That is link number 4, link number 5 and link number 6. So it is known as a ternary joint. Similarly, In case of a quaternary joint means 4 links have to be connected at the same point. Let us consider this point G. This point G is having 4 links, that is link number 7, 8, 10 and 11. So at a point, based on the how many links are connected, it is classified as binary joint, ternary joint and quaternary joint. Keep in mind, one ternary joint is equal to 2 binary joint and one quaternary joint is equal to 3 binary joints. Now let us solve some problems to understand the calculation of number of joints. So let us consider this example. So it is having link 4 link 1, link 2, link 3, link 4. So link 1 and link 4 is connected. So it is known as binary joint 1. Link 1 and link 2 is connected at a point. So this is known as binary joint 2. Similarly, link 2 and 3 is connected at binary joint 3. Link 3 and link 4 is connected at binary joint 4. So here all the joints are likely to be binary joints, which are B1, B2, B3, B4. So the number of joints is equal to 4 for this case. The next one. Here another 2 links are attached, link 5 and link 6. First, link 1, link 4. 2 links are attached, so it is binary link B1. Link 1, link 2. 2 links are attached, it is binary link B2. Here at this point, link 2, 3 and 5 is attached. So this is ternary link T1. Here link 5 and link 6 are attached, it is binary link B3. At this point, 3 links are attached. Link 6, 3, 4, it is ternary joint. So if I made a joint analysis, here I am having 3 binary joint and 2 ternary joint. So B1, B2 and B3 are termed to be a binary joint. T1 and T2 are termed to be a ternary joint. So we all know that one binary joint is equal to 2 ternary joint. So the total number of joints in the system is equal to binary joint plus 2 times of ternary joint. So here I am having 3 binary joint and 2 ternary joint. So it is equal to 7. Okay. Now go for the last example. So here it is having a 9 links. Divide into small joints, binary, ternary or quaternary. Do the joint analysis. It is having binary joint B1, B2, ternary joint T1, T2, quaternary joint Q1, Q2. So that the total number of joint is equal to binary joint plus ternary joint plus quaternary joint. And we know that one ternary joint is equal to 2 binary joint and one quaternary joint is equal to 3 binary joint. So the total number of joints in this mechanism is equal to 12. Okay. Now we are entering into the very important topic, mechanism. When one of the links in a kinematic chain is fixed means the chain is now to be termed as mechanism. Now I am going to broadly classify the mechanism. First classification is based on the number of links. The number of links is less than or equal to 4, then the mechanism is known as simple mechanism. If the number of links is greater than 4, then the mechanism is known as compound mechanism. Now I am going to classify the mechanism based on mobility. Based on the mobility, the mechanism is going to be classified into two types, planar mechanism and spatial mechanism. In case of a planar mechanism, all the links of a mechanism have a planar motion. That is, all the links of a mechanism are lying in a single plane, so that the mechanism moves parallel to the reference plane. The example is four bar mechanism, slider crank mechanism, shaper mechanism, quick return mechanism are example for this thing. In case of a spatial mechanism, the links are moved in a direction parallel and perpendicular to the plane of motion. And the example for these things are robotic arm and cranes. In case of a robotic arm, which is used to transmit motion in any direction, that may be in a x direction or in a y direction or in a z direction. So such things of mechanism is an example for spatial mechanism. Now we are going for a big division, that is the what is the difference between a mechanism and a machine. We all know that what is a mechanism. In a kinematic chain, any one of the link is fixed, then it is known as mechanism. Machine is nothing but an assemblage of parts that is used to transmit motion and energy in a predominant manner. The example is steam engine, lathe machine, milling machine. So the basic difference between a mechanism and a machine is, in case of a mechanism, it is defined as a kinematic chain with one link fixed. In case of a machine, it is an assemblage of mechanism. Mechanism is used to transmit the motion, but machine is used to transmit forces. Keep in mind, all mechanisms are not machine, but at the same time, all machines are mechanisms. Example for mechanism is 4-bar chain, and the example for machine is IC engine. Now we have to see another one important differences between a structure and machine. Structure is nothing but an assemblage of resisting body which does not have any relative motion, so that it is meant to use only to carry the loads. The examples are railway bridge, machine frame are the example. Now the difference between a structure and machine is, in case of a structure, no relative motion between the links. But in case of a machine, there is a relative motion between the links. Structure, no energy is transformed, but in case of a machine, available energy is transformed into useful work. Structure transmits the forces, machine transmits the motion and power. The example for structure is railway bridge, and the example for machine is steam engine. I hope you may all understand. So in today's topic, we have started with kinematic link. Then we see different types of kinematics link. Then what are different types of motion. Then kinematic pair. And then we have classified it. Then kinematic chain. What are the different types of joints in a kinematic chain, and how to calculate joints in a system. Later we discussed about what is meant by mechanism and its classification. At last, we have seen the differences between a machine and mechanism, and later structure and machine. I hope you may all know the know the basic concepts and terms with definitions in a kinematics. Thank you.